What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. My Thursday morningers, rejoice. We got one more, well, y'all got one more day till the weekend. Wednesday nighters, yo, I'm happy it's just hump day, you know? Once hump day is here, like, I'm all right. We got through Monday and Tuesday. All right, I have a great show set up for you guys today. We have a new segment called Behind the Feed and Off the Record. And in that segment, we're going to tell you why Nicki Minaj is fearing for her life and she feels like she is in danger after exposing Roc Nation's CEO, Desiree Perez, and Jay-Z. We have one lead story. Candace Ownes is banned from entering Australia. And in quick news, we're going to talk Mario, D'Angelo, Angie Stone, Netflix, Spotify, Kim Kardashian, and Kanye West. As always, we're going to close out the show with questions of the day, social discussion of the day, and my personal favorite, comments of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Yo, we got a new segment on the show. Woo-hoo! Let's go. All right, our first Behind the Feed and Off the Record story. Let's give it a little salute for our new segment. What? Yo, I'm not doing nothing. Look, that's... Yo, okay. Okay. I swear I did not plan that. Yo, this thing is really happy for the new segment. Jeez. Okay, that was hilarious. Anyways, yeah, shout outs to the new segment. So lately I have been really focusing on kind of going like behind the feed, behind the scenes, and kind of giving you guys some real off the record type information. A couple of you have been really liking it, so we're going to try to bring at least one every day to you. And we've been putting it in breaking news, but it wasn't really like technically breaking news. It was behind the scenes, behind the feed, kind of like off the record, alleged, hey, this is what I'm hearing from the street. So, like I said, I'm going to continue it and I'm going to break that out into a new segment. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comment section if you like it. Also, too, let me know if you guys like the name. You guys know I always like for you to give me your feedback on names. So behind the feed and off the record. Okay. In our first segment, we are going to tell you all about Nicki Minaj, Desiree Perez, and Jay-Z, okay? Y'all know when I have my notepad out that I am serious. That means I've been on the phones, I've been taking notes. I'm about to go in. And I know some of you may have seen some things today on the blogs about Nicki Minaj. I'm going to break everything down to you behind the scenes of what's going on. And also how it ties into yesterday's show when I was telling you about Desiree Perez and Jay-Z and a judge allowing the trial and discovery to continue. And I don't know, I'm not saying yes or I'm not saying no, but maybe that episode got to Nicki Minaj and this is what spurred everything today on the blogs, all right? But I'll break everything down to you, okay? So yeah, there's kind of 8 things. So Nicki Minaj vows to... Actually, you know what? I'll keep my notes to myself. I'm going to keep my notes. Sometimes I like to run down things to you. I'm just going to get to it, okay? So here we're going to start. The first headline is Nicki Minaj vows to ruin federal informant, Trump pardon, Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. Okay, that's how I want to start it off. Okay, now before we get to that, I want to backtrack. Kind of like a movie, you know, sometimes where a movie, they play for you something that happens and then they're like, 48 hours ago, this is what I'm doing. So I'm going back. We're going to get back to this. Just going to backtrack to 24 hours ago, okay? So some of you may have seen this on the blogs yesterday. Nicki Minaj's $20 million LA home at risk of being seized over massive debt owed. This was happening yesterday. Then some people allegedly started accusing some of these blog pages of reporting false information about Nicki Minaj and her debt. Us Weekly, really? Nicki Minaj's house is in jeopardy of being seized over $500,000 in debt that's owed to her because her husband put hands on her bodyguard. She was sued. That ain't the IRS. Ain't nobody seizing nobody's house over a few $100,000 in a frivolous civil case. Okay? Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So that makes sense. A $20 million mansion, why would she be at risk for losing that for $500,000? Okay, so that's first thing. Then there's some people that were pointing out that that $20 million house, that Nicki Minaj has a $13 million mortgage lien on said house, and then another $1 million homestay. Together, that would mean that that house has a debt or mortgage or whatever, a lien for $14 million, and it's worth $20 million. So at least you had 6. But if she owes somebody from a civil case $500,000, that's still no reason to sell a house. Okay. Nicki Minaj's Los Angeles mansion is at risk of being sold due to a massive unpaid debt. Her and her husband, Kenneth Penny, has refused to pay it. Thomas Mueller, who was awarded $500,000 from Nicki Minaj and her husband in a lawsuit over him allegedly putting hands on Mueller in 2019. Mueller asked the court to order her home to be sold to help him collect the money that was owed to him. Mueller, who was a security guard at one of Nicki Minaj's show in Germany, said that Nicki Minaj owns an 11-bedroom, 16-bathroom, 11,000 square foot home in the Hidden Hills in California, and the entertainer purchased a home for $19 million in December, according to property taxes. In his motion, Mueller explained that he believes the home is worth more than enough to pay off the mortgage, which I just told you about was $14,000, and his debt, which is $500,000. He pointed out that Minaj has a $14 million debt, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let me just break down quickly. This does happen where you can go to court and you bring somebody to court, they don't show up, and then you get awarded your award money by default, the $500,000. And if you cannot collect your money, then you have to present to the court, hey, give me some ways. The court will say, well, give me some ways that you think you can collect the money. And it's up to you to go find out. You say, hey, court, I found a home that has a mortgage, that has this or whatever, and if you sell it off, I can get my money. That's the background of everything, okay? Now, what I want to fill in here is the fact that this happened to Trey Songz, and this happens to a lot of people in the entertainment industry, that there's so many filings that sometimes they do miss things and it could be awarded. The plaintiff could get awarded money, but once the amount of money that's been awarded, when that gets flagged in the entertainer's world, they're like, what? I owe $500,000? Or what? I owe $20 million? Then they pay attention to it and they're like, we didn't even know about this case. Okay, so that's what Nicki Minaj is doing. So before we even get into that, Nicki Minaj, of course, heard about this story. And before she started addressing and breaking down the things and then blaming Us Weekly and then blaming Desiree Perez and Jay-Z, she started doing this. Like I said, I want to take you to the timeline that brings us till today, okay? Stick with me. So the house, $20 million, court owes $500,000. Then Nicki Minaj puts out this message. Nicki has a message about satisfying your husband following reports of her home possibly being seized to pay off debt. Nicki Minaj puts this out, having your husband, and then like the greater sign, versus having tea. Okay. Knowing peace, knowing tea. Then let this be a gem you cherish forever. Satisfying your husband, stalking somebody else's marriage. New album, March the 24th, 2026. Kind of talking in code, but let me get there. Nicki Minaj wants y'all to know that she is good over here. The rapper shared a few tweets after reports surfaced about her possibly losing her home due to a civil case. In one tweet, she wrote, having your husband versus having tea. Before writing, knowing your peace, knowing tea. She then followed up with, let this be a gem that you cherish forever, satisfying your husband, stalking somebody else's marriage new album. It's unclear who she was speaking to, but Nicki Minaj was in the news this week after US Weekly exclusively, just remember, US Weekly exclusively reported that an accuser who won a judgment after Nicki Minaj's husband put hands on him had motioned to have the couple's home seized. Okay. Couple hours after that came out, I still cannot figure out, the one part I can't figure out what she meant by that. And I'm going to just allude to the fact before she started going off, I think she just probably wanted people to know, like, y'all could talk whatever you want. I'm about to go off, but just know I'm riding for my husband. So I think she just wanted to be like, this is my guy. Yes, he may get me into some trouble. Yes, he might have a checkered past. We won't even get into his past. And I'm just letting you know that whatever happens, I'm here with my man. Okay. Then she takes the article that Page 6 picked up from Us Weekly. And the article is Nicki Minaj is at risk of losing her $20 million home. And in the comments, Nicki Minaj wrote, Desiree Perez, you mad? Ha 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 ha. Conspiracy, false imprisonment, civil rights violation, Roc Nation CEO, ha 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 ha. Basically alluding to the fact that Desiree Perez is the one who put this story out. Now, yesterday, I'm not sure if I put the connection together with you with Nicki Minaj, but I have been telling you for the past month or 2 months that one of the people out here who are dragging Jay-Z and Roc Nation, I'm pretty sure I said this to you yesterday, is Nicki Minaj. She has a beef with them, and it stems back to title, et cetera, et cetera. But for the past month or 2 months, she's been really dragging Desiree Perez and Roc Nation. So even with the beef with her and Courty, she looped in Desiree Perez and Jay-Z and Roc Nation. So she's pretty much alluding to the fact that Desiree Perez is putting out this story, which is one of the reasons why it only came out exclusively with Us Weekly. And she's like, oh, I know this is Desiree Perez and Roc Nation. And of course, alluding to the same thing that her daughter is alluding to, that Jay-Z, Desiree Perez, Roc Nation, because they have so much power and influence, they could come in and just mess anybody's life up. Now, we won't get into Desiree Perez's daughter because we went into that at length yesterday. You could just go watch yesterday's episode, 590, where Desiree Perez's daughter is suing her. That's the trial that both Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation will have to attend or will have to defend. Okay, so Alex tweets, I will never trust a newspaper or blog who allows fabricated stories and ruins their own reliable reputation just because they are on someone's payroll, loses all credibility and respect. Nicki Minaj then writes, Dear Us Weekly and Page 6, you just effed yourselves. Okay. Then she said, on TikTok, Desiree Perez, you got bigger fish to fry, Buki. Conspiracy, false imprisonment, civil rights violation. Again, talking about her daughter's case. Nation, y'all suck. Roc Nation, but she said it in another derogatory way. Let me just blurt that out before I put that up on the YouTube page. And then she said, Page 6, Us Weekly, laughing out loud. Nothing you say will stop what's to come. Cry harder. I think you're going to jail, Desiree. Casino, nope. Like I said to you yesterday, Desiree Perez, Roc Nation, and Jay-Z are on trial, civil, and from what we're hearing, it's federal charges. That's why Nicki's alluding to the fact that Desiree Perez could be going to jail. Now, I don't know if Nicki was aware of this, but then she puts out verbatim almost the details of everything that I gave you guys yesterday. Maybe somebody sent her the pod. I don't know. But then Nicki Minaj puts out a federal government rules that key parts of Desiree Perez's daughter's civil rights case against Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez can move forward. Some claims, etc., etc. I won't read everything to you, but she put out exactly verbatim what I said to you yesterday. So she's just giving more proof to her accusations. Okay, now I'm going to pause for 1 second. I'm going to tie everything together. Stay with me. One thing I didn't do yesterday is I didn't break down exactly who Desiree Perez is to you guys. So I want to do that to you right now, okay? In the days before Donald Trump's outgoing presidency, he revealed a long list of last-minute pardons at 1 a.m. on Wednesday, and several names were from the entertainment industry. Now, this was Donald Trump's, obviously, his first presidency. So this is 2020, okay? So some names from the entertainment industry. But few expected to see the name Desiree Perez, who is the CEO of Jay-Z's Roc Nation empire, along with her husband, Roc Nation sports chief Juan Perez, is a longtime and valued associate of Jay-Z. President Trump granted a full pardon to Desiree Perez. Ms. Perez was involved in a conspiracy to distribute DRUGs. Since her conviction, Ms. Perez has taken full accountability for her action and has turned her life around. She has been gainfully employed and has been an advocate for criminal justice reform in her community. After her arrest in 1994 for conspiracy with intent to distribute DRUGs, Desiree Perez cooperated with the U.S. Attorney's Office, she's an informant, and received a sentence of 5-year probation. Among other offenses, she was later charged with parole violation and served 9 months in prison in 1999. Now, after getting this pardon, after working with the feds and after getting this pardon, Desiree Perez said, "I'm grateful to have received a pardon and to have formally closed that chapter of my life in the eyes of the law." Perez, who is 52 years old, said in a statement Wednesday morning. Again, this is from 2020, okay? "I have taken full accountability for my mistakes from 25 years ago, but I also take tremendous pride in my personal growth, perseverance, and accomplishments since then. This pardon reinforces my lifelong commitment to advocate for criminal justice reform and social justice initiatives." Okay. That's who Nicki Minaj is playing with. Just want to put it out there, okay? Now, let me just take my notes just to make sure. Then, okay, so she exposed the trial. Small background of who Nicki Minaj is dealing with. Okay. So now she addresses just do a recap to let you know what is going on today. So she talks about her husband. Y'all got my husband's back. Then she's like, hey, this whole US Weekly, page 6, my house, $500,000. Yo, I'm Nicki Minaj. What is that? That's nothing. I feel like this has to do with Desiree Perez, Roc Nation, Jay-Z. Cool. Hey, what's going on with your case? Da 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 da. And then she puts out exactly what I put out yesterday. You're welcome, Nicki. And that sets a complete different Nicki Minaj in motion. We get up this morning, and now Nicki Minaj says she's not going to put out an album anymore after explosive tweets targeting Roc Nation's executive. Okay, so in Nicki Minaj fashion, she's not going to come out and say, hey, she's afraid, or she's fearing, or she got a phone call, or whatever. So this is in the way that Nicki Minaj does, and she's presenting that she is doing this because she wants to, but I feel like we could read between the lines, letting you know who Desiree Perez is. You already know who Jay-Z is and her husband, okay? So Nicki Minaj puts out these tweets and says, they came begging the Queen for a tour and album, and I said no, laughing out loud. Wanted to patch it up. They needed help from the Queen and the Barbs. I called the Barbs on the secret Barb phone, and it was a resounding no, just like the casino. And then she added Sean Carter, Jay-Z. Let me find out you're going to let Desiree Perez take the fall alone. I don't blame you. That ugly ASS chick, B word, gonna switch up anyways, alluding to the fact that she snitched one time and worked with the Fed. So she's talking about Jay-Z and Desiree Perez now, trying to get into the middle of them, saying, you're gonna let her take the fall all on her own? Because now you know that this case is gonna continue. If you let her take the fall on her own, she's gonna switch up on you and snitch anyways. Okay. You might as well, okay, let's skip that. Okay, conspiracy, false imprisonment, civil right violations, run. Then she said, hearing Desiree Perez talk about how she was begging for 40 M's, was told no, was just, okay. Broke Nation, you're gonna be so effing broke. Like who in the right effing mind would sign to you, laughing out loud? No successful tours, but vibes and bots. And the next tweet was, okay, I'm not going to put out an album no more. No more music. Hope you're happy now, Sean Carter. Again, adding Jay-Z, Sean Carter. Bye, Barbs. Love you for life. What is going on from yesterday to today? Okay, now, then it gets weirder. If you don't already think it's weird, it gets weirder. A couple hours after, you start seeing the blogs post that Jay-Z is in Abu Dhabi talking to people who are in charge of trillion-dollar assets. Jay-Z meets with Abu Dhabi royal family to explore global adventures. This gentleman who is part of the royal family writes, I met with Sean Jay-Z Carter, chairman of Roc Nation. Doesn't say artist, whatever, Roc Nation. So you know that's some Roc Nation business. Together with Jay Brown, vice chairman, and Albert Orion Robinson Jr., Chief Executive Officer of Marcy Penn Capital Partners, where we discuss the future of the entertainment industry and the technological transformation driven by artificial intelligence in this vital field, as well as the importance of balancing innovation with data protection and the rights of its creators. We also discussed Abu Dhabi's efforts to transform into a service-led economy powered by AI and advanced technology, further strengthening the Emirates' position as a leading global distribution for culture, creativity, tourism, and entertainment. Hold on here. There's some more Nicki posts after that, but hold on a second. Jay-Z recently sat down with Sheikh Tainoon bin Zander, a senior member of Abu Dhabi's royal family who oversees $1.5 trillion in assets. They had a high-level discussion about the future of entertainment, technology, and global business. Again, this just came out of nowhere. Jay-Z, if you guys watch yesterday's show and today's show and see everything that's going on, Jay-Z is trying to calm down the temperature. Now, I'm not saying that Jay-Z is not making any moves, but how ironic that this story comes out in the middle of Jay-Z civil case, Jay-Z federal case. The trial is continuing. There's a discovery. Nicki Minaj saying all of these things. Other content creators have been saying things. I've been saying things. And all of a sudden now you're like, yo, Jay-Z is in Abu Dhabi talking with a guy who's in charge of $1.5 trillion. And I will just say one thing about this. A couple of weeks ago, or maybe last month, I told you guys about Beyonce and Jay-Z remortgaging their house for $50 million. And I also told you about rumors about Jay-Z putting out another album. Now, I'm not knocking anybody for meeting with somebody who's in charge of $1 trillion asset, but sometimes certain moves are not always equally beneficial. And some moves are, I'm hemorrhaging money right now. Like, I need you to invest into Roc Nation, because I told you guys that Roc Nation allegedly is going broke. I played for you guys like 2 months ago a videotape of Desiree Perez saying that they can't make payroll, they're out of money, things are going the same, et cetera, et cetera. Their casino was the thing that was supposed to save them, and that deal fell through. So again, this Abu Dhabi meeting being advertised right now in the middle of Jay-Z having a bunch of bad press, to me is, again, Roc Nation being like, look, guys, we're not out. Look at what we're doing. But it also could be that they're out asking for partnership who wants to come in and help Roc Nation out. Okay. Allegedly. Now, Nicki Minaj put this out, and this is how things ended. She says, anytime Roc Nation, she gives them a nickname, but anytime Roc Nation is in the news for something they don't want you to know about, a few things will happen. Will Smith will appear. What? A famous person is announced unalive. D'Angelo yesterday, but that could just be a coincidence or Nicki making things up. I don't know. Said a third thing is their aliases will begin to post and say nasty things about the Queen. And then Lace Z will pop up looking dumb. I don't know what she means by that. And then lastly, she says, they don't want me to put out music. Me winning makes them feel like they lost. They're right. However, it didn't have to be this way. Lots of people part ways in business. They know how successful my album is going to be. Tried to sign Wayne, Drake, and me. So they kept wanting to take and stop my money simply because narcissists believe what you work hard for belongs to them. Fuming because they can't siphon any more energy, money, blessings, love, grace, joy, peace, the culture. No successful tours, just vibes and payola. Casino. Like, if that's not talking in codes, then I don't know what is. But she's definitely coming from a different stance from yesterday till today. So that is everything that I have for you. I'm sure from everything that you've gotten now, you could put two and two together and know that Nicki is not in a safe place right now. Honestly, to be honest, she brought this on herself. But also from another standpoint, she feels like she has to do this. Every time that we talk about this, she, again, like what she says, like, hey, this is something I have to do. I'm going to sit down here and fight. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit down here and take this. I'm going to fight. And that's what a couple of people have now said about Roc Nation. There's another content creator who I'm not going to name, a very big content creator with millions of followers and subscribers, etc. They say that Roc Nation coming after them, they are fighting back. There's Nicki Minaj, who knows what's going on with her, who knows what happened in the middle of the night. You could figure it out. And then there is Desiree Perez's daughter, who's actually taking Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation to court. So you take all of this how you will. I think that from what I've heard, that Nicki is going to take a step or so back. That's just what I heard, that whatever transpired over the night has her calming down a little bit. So we'll see what transpires tomorrow. Until then, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Our first lead story. Candace Owens loses bid to enter Australia for speaking tour after high courts upheld government visas denial over extremist and inflammatory comments. All right, you guys know that I've been telling you guys a lot about Candace Owens and everything that she's been doing when it comes to Charlie Kirk and the danger that she has put herself into, and the fact that she's left herself open to a lot of legal, legal, that's the word I'm looking for, legal cases, let's just say. I told you guys yesterday that one of Charlie Kirk's friends are thinking about suing her for defamation. Now here is Australia basically banning her from entering the country. This has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, but just, Candace talks about a lot of people. The controversial right-wing commentator has lost her legal battle to enter Australia after the nation's high court upheld a government's decision to deny her a visa. Her application was previously rejected in October 2024 by the Home Affairs Ministry over concerns that Candace's presence could incite discord in the Australian community. They argued that Candace has made extremist and inflammatory comments towards Muslims, Blacks, Jews, and LGBTQIA communities, which could generate controversy and hatred. Candace's legal team fought back, appealing the High Court's decision. However, the court's unanimous decision backing the ban means Candace will no longer be able to proceed with her plans with her speaking tour across Australia and New Zealand. In addition to the visa denial, she also has to pay the government's legal costs. Wow, crazy work. This is the risk that we take when we do what we do. Nicki Minaj got a scare last night from the risk that she takes. Candace Owens might get a defamation lawsuit. She can no longer now do her tour in Australia and New Zealand. You got to just take one on the chin. You know what I mean? You have to be very careful with the things that you say. I tell you guys all the time that my mom texts me. She's like, be careful what you say. You da-da-da-da. Like, you do. You have to be careful. A lot of things I run by my legal team to make sure what I'm saying. A lot of things I'm just like, you guys could read between the lines. So the way I choose to go around things is not the way that Candace Owens does or Nicki Minaj or any other content creators. A lot of things I know and I have in my head that people will tell me, I literally maybe only tell you guys half of it, or I like wink, wink, or nudge, nudge. A couple of weeks ago, I applauded Candace for doing what she was doing. I was like, you're better than me. You know what I mean? Like she is going all out. Now, I also did say the fact that I don't know, how I would react if my friend was unalived. And I said, if that ever happened to me, I would want somebody to act like that too. So, lately Candace has been going kind of really off the cuff, but you never know how someone's going to react when they grieve. Again, not saying that this Australian denial has anything to do with it, but I'm sure they look at everything together and the things that she said in the past. And like I said, the past month, how she's been going on now resulted in her being denied. So as always, I'll keep up, but I know you guys are kind of like torn. Some of you like to hear Candace stories. I've seen people in the comment section like, stop telling us about Candace Owens. We do not want to hear a black woman standing up for somebody like Charlie Kirk. Da, 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 da. Like, it's very, very torn in the comment section, which I love because we do have, Republicans, Democrats, independents, different, people with different opinions. So I do love that about the community that we have built. So sound off. Let me know if you guys are happy for Candace or you think they should let her in. Because at the end of the day, it's free speech, right? So anyway, sound off below and let me know what you think. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Okay, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this because I like when I'm right and I can come back the next day and be like, ha, I told y'all so. Mario issues an apology to a cameraman he brushed off stage. I'm sorry that you experienced that. So yesterday we told you about Mario kicking a camera guy off stage. And I was like, bro, you're at a concert, you're on stage. If there's a camera guy there, he's literally just filming your content for you or for somebody. You don't even have to know who he is or why he's there. There's no reason for you to kick him off stage. I'm like, I don't have to hear anything. There's no reason. A couple of people in the comment section were like, oh, well, maybe he doesn't feel safe, whatever, blah, blah. He came out and apologized himself because he knows he was wrong. Now, he put out an apology letter. Normally, I don't read full like apology letters because they're blah, blah, blah. But this is not blah, blah, blah. This is a horrible apology letter. And I'm going to not like dissect it, but I'm just going to break down some parts of this for you. And you let me know if you think that this is a good apology letter for somebody who did something so horrible to this innocent camera guy that was just there working, okay? People are misinformed about the fresh nose situation. No one told, first of all, to start off like that is horrible. People are misinformed about the fresh nose situation. That's horrible. Nobody told us a cameraman was shooting my set. I got to the show 10 minutes before my performance and went on stage. That's how you start off an apology letter. First of all, why are you showing up only 10 minutes before? Second of all, nobody has to tell you they're filming. I was literally just on stage at Charlemagne and iHeartRadio and Dr. Alfie's show, Mental Health Expo. Nobody told me who was filming that. You're on stage, there's cameras around. Like, it's normal. It's a normal thing to happen. And this, Mario, you've been in the industry for over 20 years. Like, this is not your first stage performance. Anyways, this letter bothers me so much. Multiple times while seeing the cameraman through my peripheral, I got distracted and one time almost tripped over a speaker. He meant to say tripped over a speaker, trying to make sure I'm not walking in the same direction as him. He was too far downstage. A cameraman is not supposed to be that far downstage unless he's with you or shooting you that close for a reason. It can really throw you off. In the midst of all of that, while walking backstage right, I got frustrated and then I said, yo, you gotta get off stage. This is supposed to be an apology letter. Yo, the cameraman's not supposed to get so close. I saw him out my peripheral. I almost tripped on a speaker. Sir, is this your first stage performance? And are you 12 years old? Like, what are you talking about? You're a big grown man. Like, there's a camera guy there, and out of your peripheral, he has you that shook. It's not like, there was a guy there. He had his hands in his pockets. He had a big camera. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, now he starts getting into the apology. I will take accountability for being a 0 to 100 type of person. What? And this is why I stay out the way most of the time. I laugh out loud. I never want one recorded incident to wipe away the work I have done as a person to stay out of y'all mouths and the blogs. First of all, he's trying to make himself look like he's like big and bad. I take accountability for being a 0 to 100 type of person. Like, oh, we're so scared of you, Mario. Give me a break. Then he says, I performed under all types of circumstances. Really? It doesn't seem like it, sir. I'm a very professional person though. And, I'm a very professional person though. And though nobody works with me, and anybody who works with me knows that. To the cameraman, you got caught in the crossfire, my boy, and I'm sorry. Listen to the apology. To the cameraman, you got caught in the crossfire, my boy, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to experience that. It was nothing personal. You're welcome. Listen to this. You're welcome to come and shoot me on tour. It will be Nothing But Us tour, and you could do it the right way. What? You're more than welcome to come on my tour, and we could do it the right way. To the fans who were triggered, I love you. To the bots, F you, with a laughing emoji. Ugh, like, I was bothered by what he did yesterday. I am 10 times more bothered by that letter. Or whatever you want to call it, statement. And you know what I will say? because I'm like on a like my mental health vibe right now because I just came from the mental wealth conference. Do you know what this looks like to me? Or not even looks like. You know what this is? This is male ego bravado. He has so much testosterone between his head and his mouth that he can't even get out an apology. And well, in this case, his fingers. He has so much in his mind and he's so blocked that he can't just be really man enough to be like, bro, my bad. I was having a bad day. I am so sorry. You did absolutely nothing wrong but doing your job. I was flustered. I only showed up 10 minutes before my set. I had no idea what's going on. We've never worked together. I was out of it. I had a bad day yesterday. I'm really sorry. You did nothing wrong. My bad. Please accept my apology. And if you will accept my apology, I would love to take you on tour with me on my dime, set up, pay for it, do whatever. And I would love to work with you again because I'm sure you're a great guy and I never even got the opportunity to work with you. And I would love to start over fresh and have a new beginning. And I apologize. And to my fans, I'm really sorry because I really work hard on not being that dude. And I'm really sorry that that had to be out there like that because that's not really me. And I apologize and I'm sorry. That's how a real man, that's how somebody who's healed and somebody who's not afraid to admit that they're wrong, that's how somebody says they're sorry. So as much as I'm dragging, or I started this segment or quick story off by dragging him, at the end of it now, I actually feel sorry for him that he has so much things that he has to work through that he's not able to be in touch with the real manly side of him. And he thinks that this is the way how a man talks. Anyways, reach out to me, Mario, okay? I can help you. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section. All right, moving on to our second quick story. D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son, Michael Jr., breaks his silence after losing both his parents in a year. Super sad. Now, we told you yesterday about, of course, D'Angelo passing away, and then also reminded y'all that I was reminded as well, too, that Angie Stone had passed away in March. For some reason, it seemed to me like it was longer than that. I just don't remember it being this year. I do remember making a video about it, a show about it, but anyway, still shocking. And then we also told you about his son now, or their son. But apparently overnight, he put out a statement, but then in the morning, we all found out that it really wasn't a statement and he really wasn't ready to make a statement, and it was his publicist. So here is the statement, a statement from D'Angelo and Angie Stone's son, Michael, on the passing of his father. I am grateful for your thoughts and prayers during this very difficult time, as it has been a very rough and sad year for me. I ask that you please continue to keep me in your thoughts, as it will not be easy, but one thing that both my parents taught me was to be strong, and I intend to do just that. Michael Jr., which makes sense. Apparently, I think it was, from what I'm hearing, if I'm not mistaken, like still by his dad's bedside or something in the house, really wasn't ready to come out and speak to anybody. But the publicist, or the family publicist, or maybe his publicist, decided it was smart to put out a statement. So there's some internal things going on. It's just sad, but I hope that Angie Stone and D'Angelo's son, Michael, is doing well, and he'll be able to make his own statement in due time when he's ready. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story, something very exciting. Netflix strikes a deal with Spotify to stream video podcasts starting, drum roll please, 2026. Now, why I'm excited about this is that I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that Netflix had announced that they're going into the podcasting space. And there was somebody, if I'm not mistaken, hired from a podcast space Maybe they were hired from Spotify, not too sure, but they hired somebody who was huge in the podcasting world. And people were like, hey, Netflix is getting into podcasting. Spotify and Netflix has entered a distribution agreement to bring select video podcasts to Netflix platform starting early 2026. The partnership will initially launch in the US and later expand to additional markets. Feature content will include video podcasts from Spotify Studios and the Ring, covering topics such as sport, culture, lifestyle, and true crime. Full episodes will be available on both Spotify and Netflix, with clips potentially shared across other platforms. The collaboration aims to expand the reach of Spotify's podcast content by tapping into Netflix global subscription base. Why I'm excited for that is I've heard, of course, it's going to start off small, but slowly start branching off where more people that have shows on Spotify, the Trent Out Loud show. Of course, at the end of every episode, I tell you guys for video, check us out on YouTube, but our video is also available on Spotify as well as podcasts and audio. You can get our video there. So what I'm hearing is after it rolls out and things start picking up, they will perhaps, take some other videos and your boy will be available on Netflix. Maybe, allegedly. All right, so look out for podcasts or shows on Netflix in 2026. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our fourth quick story. Kim Kardashian exposes everything from Kanye's episodes to their toxic marriage. Kim Kardashian got candid on Call Her Daddy podcast, opening up about co-parenting with her ex-husband and the father of her 4 children, Kanye West. Alex Cooper asked how things are currently going with co-parenting, and Kim was honest. She shared that she has primary custody of their kids, but keeps the door open for Kanye to spend time with them. They live with me, and I welcome a great, healthy relationship with my kids and their dad. And I think he knows that, Kim Kardashian said. I push for it all the time, but I also protect them when it's time for that. It goes in waves and phases, and it's a lot of work. Kim added, it's probably been a couple of months since we've heard from him, mentioning that the kids understand Wes's busy life traveling and touring. We manage it really well. It's really sad. Here is a quick clip. Take a look.
Can we talk about the state of you and Kanye's co-parenting relationship?
What do you think co-parenting with Kanye West is like?
I guess that's what I'm curious. I'm wondering, how are you doing and how much is on you, Kim?
It's not easy, and I welcome a great, healthy relationship with my kids and their dad.
All right, it's pretty much what I read to you. If you guys want to see, well, not the full thing. If you want to see the full thing, of course, watch Call Her Daddy. But we have a good 5 or 10 minutes of the highlights on our Instagram page. So go check that out at the Trent Out Loud show. There was another headline here. Kim Kardashian says Northwest told her it was time to get a boyfriend and move on from Kanye. Also says it's hard to see Kanye talk negatively about her mom, Kris. So a lot of stuff, like I said, go to the Trent Out Loud show on Instagram. You'll see some highlights. 2 things I want to put out. Shout out to Alex Cooper, Call Her Daddy. Her podcast has already been big, but she's really getting a lot of big interviews. The Cardi B interview got a lot of views. This Kim Kardashian is getting a lot of talk. I feel like she's kind of like replacing, I don't know about replacing, but I feel like she's the alternative, let's just say, to Shannon Sharpe. If you remember before Shannon Sharpe's fiasco, like when people had to talk to somebody and sit down as a YouTube or podcast creator, Shannon was the guy that got all those viral clips. I feel like Call Her Daddy is now. So shout out to Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper. Also, I'd like to shout out Kim for bobbing and weaving through this interview and not throwing Kanye West completely under the bus. Now, we all have our opinions about Kanye West. I have dragged him multiple times on the show, etc. But I think when somebody asks you a question about your child's father and has to do with the kids and the father, whatever, it's so respectable to me when I see somebody, even though that Kanye West hasn't been always respectful to her, she is respectful to her children's father. I just thought it was beautiful. I've seen my mother do that for my dad, and I always just applaud women for always taking, or the women or mothers that take that high road and love their kids so much that knowing bashing their father is actually hurtful to them. So I wanted to just salute Kim for that. And maybe she does it all the time, but I've told you guys here, I'm very transparent. Like, I don't follow anything Kim Kardashian. I've never watched an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. This just came out because I actually follow Call Her Daddy and Alice Cooper as a colleague. So that's why I'm got a little bit more into this. So maybe she does that all the time, but I just wanted to shout her out for that. I do think it's interesting to hear North say, "It's all right, it's time to move on from dad and go find somebody else." Very interesting. But, North is getting a little bit older, so it's just kind of like easier for her to understand. And to, I guess, kind of bring it all full circle, when Kanye West is promoting something, I always tell you, I always tell you, whenever Kanye West starts acting up and you hear him on the blogs or you see him in media, he's always coming to sell something to you. And that's why I'm pretty much been done with Kanye, because he knows when to turn it on and when to turn it off, right? So if he's having episodes, and as you guys know, especially from this past weekend, I'm a big mental health advocate, you don't get to pick and choose your episodes. So why every time he has something to package and sell, he starts going off and starts saying and doing all of these things? And to hear that he hasn't seen his own kids in a couple of months, it makes me sad to see that. I feel that he uses his mental health to package and sell things. And during these times, that is when you see North a lot. He knows I was putting her in a video. She's going to be on a track. She's in the studio with him. So when he's in like promo mode, episode mode, he's selling you something, and that's when you see North. And now for Kim to tell us that he hasn't seen her in months, and we haven't seen Kanye on the blogs in months, and he hasn't had anything to sell us. Like Kanye West. Boo. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to comments of the day and social discussion, my favorite segment. All right. Before I get into comments, I have a very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are, all three of them, if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trenoutloud, to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. And what we mean by exposed is you buy something online, your information is out there, people can get your information and use it. And the new hack, you could check this on CNN and Fox, I've seen this commercial, people are taking your information, changing the deed on your house, and selling your house without you even moving out or knowing about it. So very, very scary time with data breaches on cell phones, computers, and laptops, okay? If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even more scary, stalkers. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part. They automatically remove all of your information off of these sites, and they can keep it off. They can do all of that for free, okay, with the link below. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web. And that's what I mean, the dark web, selling your home, getting your name off the deed, okay? Real-time fraud alerts if any of your credit card or banking information is ever found. A secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based customer service round the clock. You're not calling another country. And they also offer a $5 million identity theft insurance package. In the event something does go wrong and slips through the cracks, you are covered by a $5 million insurance policy. They are by far, hands down, the best security tool. I don't go on my computer or my laptop or phone without it. Neither does anybody in my family. I wanted to bring it to the Out Louders, all right? So make sure you all sign up. It's free, totally free. Just click the link below, the QR code beside me, totally free. For those of you who have never heard of Aura, they used to be the jersey logo for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, just showing you that working with the NBA, working with the Trent Out Loud show, they are a brand that I stand behind full-heartedly, all right? So make sure you all sign up below. Free. It's free for 14 days. Okay. Bamba. One of my lights just dropped, but we can carry on. Hold on. Let me actually go pick that up. Did that even make a really big difference? Do you guys really see that as a difference? Anyways. All right. So let's get to comments of the day. Sometimes I forget to go and get comments. But because I'm trying to have a more live feel, I kind of also like going and grabbing comments live. So the first comment that literally popped up is sing. Oh, this was probably me singing D'Angelo. Teresa Myers says sing, laugh out loud. And then LL Jewel J says support Candace. That should be the hashtag trend. I believe she's telling the truth about a lot of things, not just Charlie Kirk. She needs us true seekers to be as brave as she is and have her back. She's not willing to bow down because of her fear of losing her podcast or being bankrupt. She's already lost a career that meant a lot to her, and it devastated her for a minute. She made it through and rose like a phoenix, stronger, braver, and with more determination than ever to tell the truth. I think she's honoring her friend because she's loyal and authentic. She brings the proof on top of it all. If she finds she was wrong, she admits it. She has integrity, something sorely missing in today's world. I appreciate the hell out of you for spreading her word and having her back. True seekers, unite. All right, that is really cool. I'm happy I literally just fell on that by accident. This last one here is Teresa Jackson said, hello, guy, how are you doing today? As always, good to see you. Okay, really cool that I just fell on that. And I was literally just talking about Candace, some saying that you guys don't want to hear about her. And then you hear somebody like JL Jewel J. That's a funny name. Like LL Jewel J, like LL Cool J. Funny. Yeah, some people love Candace. Some people don't like her. Some people like that I'm promoting her, and some people like that I don't. So I like that we have a difference of opinion. So, all right. So that is the two comments that we just grabbed off the cuff. Oh, you know what else I forgot? I forgot to tell you about memberships. Oh my gosh. How can I forget about my own memberships? Don't forget to sign up to the Out Loud membership. The link is below. You'll get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. We also do weekly blogs where I kind of get personal, give you guys some behind-the-scenes stuff. Make sure you sign up. There are different levels, but they give you all the same access. There's just different price points if you want to support your boy, kind of like tipping 10%, 15%, 20 or whatever. But the first one gives you the same access as the last one. All right. So make sure y'all sign up. All right. Now we can get to social discussion. I think this is a really good one, although I'm going to have a hard time weighing in on it. Planet Fitness under fire after an employee approached this customer. Now, watch this video. This is just an employee walking up to a customer saying, you need to change your shorts. It's not comfortable or it's not appropriate, or pull them down. The customer says, yo, I'm not leaving. Here's a quick clip. We put this up, the full video on our Instagram page if you want to check it out. Here's a quick clip.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to bother you, but I just was wondering if you have anything else that you can fully change into.
No, I don't. Why?
Because your shorts unfortunately go against our dress code policy.
What dress code?
You can't wear that short of shorts in here.
Where does it say that?
Actually, on the wall over there. Look.
Where?
Dress code. You have to leave if you're not going to change, or at least put them lower.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Just do the no?
No.
Well, I'm not going to go anymore, so.
Then I'm going to have
Okay, so yes, there are dress codes at the gym. Like, for example, like a man can't train with his shirt off. I particularly don't see anything wrong. I do think her shorts are a little short. I'll admit they're a little short, but I don't think it's like in a way that's like inappropriate. Like you need to be kicked out. I think she maybe, I'm kind of on the fence, so I bring it to social discussion. I kind of like the fact that she was like, hey, can you pull it down? Like, can we try to compromise? But again, I just don't think there's anything wrong. Like, I don't think dress code wise, like there's like an inch of where, you know what I mean? Like, it can only be this, like 1 inch could be out, but 3 inches can't be out. Like, how do you adjust that? You have to be like, yo, no short shorts, but then what is a short short? Like I said, I think it's too close for comfort, personally, for me. And I think that she should have been just asked to just be like, hey, just in case there are some people that are comfortable, would you mind pulling it down? No? Okay, fine. And just kind of like walk away and leave it up to the customer. Now, on the flip side, from the customer side of things, she pulled it down a little and she's like, all right, that's all I'm pulling it down to, but I'm not leaving. I think she could have been a little bit more understanding, and it could have been a little bit like, hey, I feel comfortable, I'll pull it down, but this is like the most I'm going to, and like, show me who's uncomfortable, or like, what are your reasons behind it, right? Like, hey, there's a group of like preschoolers here, like they're, it's not necessarily detailed in our rule, but for this reason, I just feel like the communication could have been better on both sides. But as always, I bring it to you guys. Sound off. Let me know what you guys think. And especially women, I think women have a better gauge at this. I mean, this is your own dress code. Like I said, I can understand as a guy working out, not wearing his shirt, I would say that, that's wrong, bro. You can't do that. You know what I mean? But as a girl, I don't know if these shorts are too short. I don't know. You men, let me know if you feel uncomfortable. And women, do you think that this is fair game and you just feel comfortable in the gym and this is how you want to stretch and look? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Okay, I feel like I literally just like asked you guys that question like 30 different ways. Like, sometimes I could be chatty patty. Y'all know me. Thanks for sticking with me though. All right, question of the day is, what are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? All right, somebody said family is family. F that. My peace is my peace. Be blessed, be loved. Okay. Red velvet cake. Do you know I agree with that? I don't think red velvet cake is that crazy. The icing is crazy, but the cake is like, yeah. Although I think most cakes are like, meh. More of like a cheesecake type of guy or an ice cream cake. Somebody said raw sushi. Excuse me, sir. Sushi is raw, but I digress. Somebody said working. That's funny. Caring before marriage. Okay. Themselves. That's funny. Oysters. Oysters are definitely not great. And I love every seafood, shrimp, lobster, blah, 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 mussels. Oysters, they're not that great. You put this sauce or you put the ginger thing or whatever, the radish you put into it, it's just, Coconut water, agreed. Except for if it's like right from a coconut, like in Jamaica where you climb a coconut tree or it's falling down or it fell down and you drink that, that's good. But the ones in the can, meh. It's not often I always agree with the comments. Somebody says college. That's funny. Being in a relationship. Pretty funny. Not following Jesus. Having kids. GLP-1s. Carrot or coconut cake. Just say you eat wet tissue. That's funny. Hold on a second. Carrot cake is good with good amount of icing. Like, I like carrot cake. Chitlins, pig feet, ham hocks. Somebody said them N-words. Chitlins. Coleslaw. How do you not like coleslaw? Solo vacations. I love solo vacations, although it can get a little boring. I'll agree. It's not great, but you can get by. I take at least 1 or 2 trips a month, and I'd be lying if I said I go alone on purpose. I'd love to have a homie or a thick jaw on every trip. That's hilarious. But yeah, that's what it is. If you don't have somebody to go, it's better you go alone. But of course, it's always fun to go with somebody. Somebody said being a BM or a BD, being a baby daddy or a baby mama. These are really good answers, man. Marriage. Okay, that's maybe not great because I still believe in marriage. Ground beef and baked beans. Knock it off. These are good, man. America, getting married. Matcha. How do you not like matcha? Brussels sprouts. Somebody said MAGA. People. Watermelon. What? Having a man. All right, really good answers, guys. But y'all weigh in. Outlouders weigh in. What are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? Let me know in the comment section below. See, I did good. I didn't talk as much as I did in social discussion. Wow. Gave you the question. I gave you the answers, some people's answers, and now boom, it's your answer. But guess what? I just talked after I just said it was up to you guys to comment below. Sometimes I'm just chatty back. Sorry. Okay, comment below. All right, y'all, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for kicking with me on today's show. Let me know what you guys think of the new segment, Behind the Feed and Off the Record. Tell me that name's not dope, though. Behind, not the scenes, but the feed, you know, because we all are in our feeds. Now, like, you can read what's on the feed. I'll tell you what's behind the feed. Oh, behind the feed. And oh, what? Off the record. Off the record, you know, allegedly. You can't sue me. Behind the feed. Off the record. You dig? Yeah, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna log off now. Okay, before I let y'all go, do not forget to use the link below to sign up for the membership. And if you're on iPhone, don't use the join button. Use the link below. When you hit the join button on an iPhone, it charges you like an extra $1 or $2. If you're on a desktop, sign up anywhere, okay? But safest bet, just use the link below to sign up for the Out Loud membership. Also, QR code beside me. Do not forget to sign up for Aura. 14 days, absolutely free. At least just go on and see what they can offer. I'm telling you, you're going to be mind blown. Just on the weekend at the Mental Health Expo, somebody was like, yo, thank you very much for putting me onto Aura. Love them. Tell you, don't miss out. What am I supposed to say now? For those of you, I'm going to give you ways to keep up. What is wrong with me? Woo! Take 2. All right. Don't forget to sign up with Aura. Also, going to give you a couple of ways to keep up to date with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on all the sites. Just go to any of the sites, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube and every other platform, we upload daily. It's not working out good. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Did I say that? Okay, moving on. For those of you who are like me and you like to watch your shows with video, go over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud. The show is going to pop up. I'm going to need you to do 5 things. 1, hit the subscribe button. 2, hit the like button because those 2 things get the algorithming. 3, please try to comment. I know I read out comments, so please try to comment. Also, you guys are my co-hosts. I do the show with you. So I bring the subjects, and if you guys are not commenting and answering me, because I always ask you to comment below, I look a little cray-cray out here, right? And I don't want to look like I'm cray-cray. So make sure you all try to comment. For those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, that's totally fair and understandable. At least let me know where you are watching from. This is a global show, and I love to see the different countries and cities y'all are watching from. For those of you who are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps them growing the channel, and we're here to grow the channel. And lastly, like I said a few times, please try to sign up for the Out Loud membership. We have a lot of good things and fun things going, and you don't want to miss out on our members only package. For those who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's also the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. We post most of the stories that we talk about on the show on the hour, every hour as it is breaking. It's a good way to stay up to date with all the news and headlines. And then when you come to the show, you have seen, heard, already ready to engage in the stories. And on Instagram, we're able to play the full thing, kind of like the Kim Kardashian or whatever. We don't have to edit or worry about copyright infringement. We play the whole thing on Instagram. So make sure y'all check us out, The Trend Out Loud Show. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great, great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!